Hello, today I'm going to do a review on this. It's the Doctor Who magazine issue, 510. It'll go from April 2017, so it says UK £5.90, which is obviously £6 altogether, and then US dollars 11.99, which is obviously $12 altogether. So it says comic relief, Red Nose, Day Boss, Richard Curtis on the curse of fatal death, and Vincent the Doctor. Okay, and on BBC Doctor Who magazine, so it says the official magazine of the BBC television series, remembering John Hurt. David Tennant, Stephen Moffat, David Warner, Louise Jameson, friends and colleagues to pay tribute to the Doctor's secret incarnation. From A to Z Cars, we celebrate the extraordinary career of an acting legend. So, Sidney Newman, his fight to be recognised as Doctor Who creator. So, here's the front spine where it says Doctor Who magazine 510, and then it says John Hurt, Richard Curtis and Stephen Moffat, Sidney Newman recording Doctor Who, The Invisible Enemy and Doorway to Hell Part 3. So it says, but for now, for this moment, I am the Doctor again. Thank you, BBC. So here's the back. So it says brand new audio adventure in time and space. So BBC Doctor Who, John Hurt, Jacqueline Pearce, and Reece Jameson in the War Doctor Casualties of War out now. So, let's open this up, shall we? So, pull to open there, of course, and there's John Hurt, and then D in 510, letter from the editor, Tom. Okay, so suddenly Doctor himself is standing in front of me, shaking my hand. So, a queue in Glasgow to meet Stephen Moffat, to meet the Doctor. Stephen Moffat is just off camera, probably, yeah. So, a queuing Glasgow to meet the Doctor, Tom Baker. That's it. Okay. So, who wore it better? There's Stephen Moffat and Peter Davison wearing the fifth Doctor's coat there. I know. So, Gallifrey Guardian. So all the latest official news of every Doctor Who calling the universe. So, after Peter, who is next? So, speculation as to who's the next Doctor is mounting. So, after Peter Capaldi made the shot announcing that his third series will also be his last. I know. So, Peter Capaldi tells Joe when his seat on the 30th of January. I know. And obviously there's Eccleston Steelbook, Life of Evans, and then coming soon from the makers of DWM. And then just big finish launch the Ninth Doctor Chronicles, and then the Doctor and Bill brought to book Diamond Dogs, Plague City, and The Shining Man. Okay, more Baker's End. So it looks like you've got Tom Baker and Katie Manning there. That's really cool. And then Beyond the TARDIS, so the cast and crew have been up to Doctor recently. So you got Noel Clarke as Muhammad Ali, okay, and then Matt Smith and Claire Foy at the Screen Actors Guild Awards. That's it. And then Billy Piper does have a bit of for comic relief, okay, and then John Croft and the Demons, okay. Now you got subscribe and save, half price sub, so 6 issues £19.50. So D-Dot is available every 4 weeks. 54 History of Doctor Who, miss your own copy. So on the day of publication, every issue delivered directly to your door. Avoid any price rise during the year. Make massive savings. They're right there, I think. So, Galaxy Forum, so news about so Starless, so just 30 more episodes to go for Peter Capaldi's Doctor or Peter Capaldi's Doctor. So, The Daft Dimension by Lou Stringer. So, I see the press once again speculating that the new Doctor, could it be a woman? Pah, outrageous. Well, it was. Well, maybe it's time. Gah! I want to humble my opinion ever about what's his name in the part. Capaldi, Smith, Tennant. No further back than that than the one in the film. Peter Cushing. Who? No, not him. Brian Dovely. He was the best. Haven't seen him since. Yeah, that's a quarter mass. You've never actually seen Doctor Who, have you? So, John Hurt and Day of the Doctor was voted with the greatest story of all time by D.W. Readers in 2014. Okay, that's John Hurt there. So, YouTube. So, in behind the scenes with Michelle goes back on set. So, Missy's return. That's it. And then there's Desecrating the Old Doctor Who Monsters Home. New series Monster Petition there. And then rare archive footage of John Pertwee and Elizabeth Stone shoot during 1974's Planet of the Spiders. That's it. Watch Tom Beggs the Doctor interview on BBC One Entertainment of Seaside Special broadcast 19th of June 1976. Oh, and then comedy troupe for Who, five Who fans return for serial nonsense inspired by Doctor Who. Okay, that is not for the faint of hearted. Oh, okay. And then obviously we also heard from Get in Touch on Twitter. So the stars of early 70s Doctor Who, Rosa Delgado and the Master, Katie Manning and John Pert with the Doctor, and Nicholas Courtney Brigadier. So that's it. Okay, so on this month, 25 years ago, it's March 1992, and DDM 185 degrees of loving the new spin-offs. So, like, subscriptions sale at 46%, like $34.99 and $3.99, they're cheap in the print edition. Package also available at reduced prices. Obviously, that's it there. And then The Many Lies of John Hurt. So John Hurt in 1979's BBC adaptation of Crime and Punishment there, I think. So 2013, the man who played the War Doctor in 2013 is the Doctor that passed away in January. D.M. plays through it with life and work. So the young Hurt in an early TV role. So that's like John Hurt in Crime and Punishment there, I think. So in its 50th year, Doctor attracted one of the greatest actors on the planet. Yes. And now you've got like John and Julie Geeson and Richard Attenborough in 1971's Rillington Place. Like John with like Quentin Crisp, who played a naked civil servant. That's it. So 10 Rillington Place with on John Hurt, the first BAFTA nomination for the Best Supporting Actor. And then John starred in his heroic and addicted 1978's Midnight Express, pictured here as co-star Brad Davis. And then John Hurt as Caligula with Derek Jacobi and George Baker in I, Claudius, that's it. And then John was the voice of Hazel in 1978's Watership Down, and the landmark moment in 1979's Alien, yes. And now you've got more stuff. So John Hurt under heavy prosthetics in 1980s, and the Elephant Man. Richard Burton's adaptation of George Orwell's 1984 there, of course, that's it, Remembering John Hurt. Starring Florence Oliver in 1983's King Lear, and then like Bridget Fonda joins John in Scandal. That's like John receives his knighthood in 2015. Wow. So he became Sir John Hurt in 2015. So celebrating 50 years of Doctor in 2013. John Hurt meets Sophie Countess of Wessex as the Doctor invited to Buckingham Palace in 2013. Okay. Also, every twitch that famously expressive face seems to convey the essence of Doctorness. And then, like, subscribe now, save 50%, and you've seen all this, £48, that's it. Special edition. So, part of the legend, like David Tennant on John Hurt. So, following John Hurt's death, we spoke to the 10th Doctor. David Tennant shared warm memories of working with him in 2013's Day of the Doctor. So, past and future collide. Like, so Matt and I just sat and let him tell us that Eric Clapton and the Beatles were extraordinary life that he'd ever lived. That's it. 3 Doctors team up to save the day. And then strong to the finish. So John Hurt returning many highly regarded audio plays as Big Finish colleagues played tribute to him. So John with producer David Richardson, with friend co-star Jacqueline Pearce, and writer and director Nicholas Briggs. Okay. Cover art for the Big Finish War Doctor audio story. So I was terrified John would find the whole thing trivial and uninteresting, but all my fears were unfounded. Nicholas Briggs. John Hurt is the War Doctor in Doctor Who magazine. Now that's it. We were left wanting more. So now you got more stuff there. So John had intended to come back, but we was not to be. Like Dave Richardson, okay, and then like Doorway to Hell Part 3 comic. So this obviously features the like 12th Doctor, like it should do, of course. So that's really, really cool. And you got the original Master, that's really nice. Oh, okay, that's a really weird lightness there. There's a lot of colours in this, I know there is. That's the Master's TARDIS there, and then you've got the 12th Doctor's TARDIS there, that's really nice. And then next, Death in Hell, like Death in Hell next, okay. So, exciting new Doctor Who comic collections available. So, Arena of Fear, The One, Supremacy of the Cybermen, and The School of Death, Titan Comics. Right, so now you've got Richard and the Doctor. So as Comic Relief counts down towards Red Nose Day 2017, we spoke to the charity co-founder Richard Curtis to find out a little more about the two brushes with Doctor in 1999's Curse of Fatal Death and 2010's Vincent and the Doctor. So behind the scenes on 99's Comic Relief. So we would go through every available brand, be dead or alive, that might have parody. So DC Doctor, like Hugh Grant was one of the famous actors that called upon by Richard Curtis to play the Doctor, I know. And the original Ninth Doctor played by Rowan Atkinson, and then the Doctor returns to comic relief in 2011, yes. And then there you got, so Amy the Doctor admire Vincent van Gogh's painting, and then Matt Smith chats to writer Richard Curtis on set for Vincent the Doctor. Vincent there. So the key line in the episode is when Vincent is crying and says these are tears of joy, okay? Like the definitive guide to 6 decades of mechanical monsters, so like the essential Doctor Who Robots magazine, so available from the 23rd of March 2017 at WH Smith, £9.99 of course. And now you've got the time team, so it's like this issue 700, episode 772, Day of the Moon, so one small step. In America 1969, the Doctor's companions lead to a revolution against the memory erasing silence, so with a little help from the moon landing. The big cluster of monsters hanging from the ceiling has really freaked me out, Michael. And it's just, has the Doctor ever done anything so undoctorish? And then some more artwork up there. So available on iOS and Android. Big Finish app, Big Finish audiobook player. The best way to listen to Big Finish on your mobile devices. And then there's more stuff. So tape heads. It's like VHS tapes or cassette tapes for the Doctor Who classic episodes. I think that's really cool. So several black and white episodes are known as the earliest being Eve of the Daleks. And then the only way to get the tape closed to store it overnight in a very cold fridge, was it? Like the Mask of Mandrag of the first week, sorry, recorded off air from Doctor Who fan Ian Leven, that's it, okay. Like John Cleese advertised the C-Effect, the C7 Betamax recorder owned by early adapter John Vincent, that's it, okay. And at the end of the Twin Dilemma recording episodes offered in 80s stoked enthusiasm for many fans, that's it. And in the late 1980s, that's a VHS or VCR. Like nearly 10 years after high definition TV standard, there's still an easy way to record programs off air in HD. An increase in quality, ED or Ed Stranding at the VHS recorders capture the time in 30th anniversary charity episode Dimensions in Time. That's it. So, who won? So you got three class novels, class DVD, Dalek mug, Claws of Axos set, and then posters. That's really cool. And then just like Target novelisations and reprints or version reprints. It looks like, and then like taking on Star Wars. So it's 40 years since Star Wars, the sci-fi movie that revolutionised the cinema. But in this TV show Far, Far Away, Doctor was providing the even without the film's budget, isn't it? Its ambition was just as big. The nucleus of the Swarm Reborn. That's it. That's the like the nucleus that was in the Invisible Enemy. I know. The Invisible Enemy was to my version the biggest budgeted Doctor Who ever. Wouldn't enjoy being paid to make explosions, start fires. The Invisible Enemy was one of the most effects intensive Doctors ever been done before. That's it, or been before, okay, or been done. I was government at the film commission of the Governors General. Obviously, I think the Avengers and DR Who are more important achievements. That's who created Doctor Who? Like Verity Lambert. No, sorry, Sidney Newman. Sorry, it was Sidney Newman. Like Sidney Newman. Like the creation, it's Sidney Newman. My 12 years in England was the best of my life. My 5 with BBC, it's pinnacle. That's it. There's more stuff. I think that's Sidney Newman in the 1980s. And then you got Warp Drive. That's it. Hopefully, I think Volume 3. They fanzine probably. And then the D.M review on audio frequencies of Big Finish. Okay, yes. And there's Adric there, Object of Desire, Adric. Okay, so BBC Doctor The Complete History from William Hart's Peace Capaldi, the ultimate guide for behind the scenes history of Doctor written by the experts. Available from Amazon.co.uk, like the Complete History books. Okay. And then prize to be won, crossword and other stuff. That's really nice. And coming soon, Jago and Lightfoot Series 13. Okay, that's nice. Some more stuff. And then Woucher. So, next issue of BBC Doctor Who magazine. So, back on TV. We preview the first 3 episodes of the new season, Series 10. So, plus news, features, interviews, commentary, and all your visual favourites. So, Dido M511 available at WH Smith and News Agents and Comic Shops the 6th of April 2017. Price final £6. And then Out of the Highgate Horror, of course. We've seen that. So, yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.